Namaste, and welcome to our continuing series, Interviews with Disciples and Devotees. Today again, we are honored to have with us Rashmi.
Namaste.
Namaste, sir. Namaste. Will you talk about a few of these other people we were mentioning when you were young and in school?
Yeah. I wanted to talk about, our school, during the school time, our days started at like 5:30 in the morning and finished at 10:30 in the evening, at least mine did. And you had no time for television, you had no time for playing games online, or no, we didn't have that. We didn't have internet. So we had our full day was totally taken up by music, schooling, classes, dramatics. But so it would start at, we would wake up like 5:30, and it would start with 6 o'clock. We had Sanskrit class in the ashram main building with Pujalalji. He used to teach us mantras and Sanskrit shlokas. So we used to be there already at 5:45, I think, early in the morning. We used to start with that, and after that we sort of came back for breakfast, and then so it wasn't every day because we had alternate days when we used to go for training of tennis at 6 o'clock in the morning, and in the tennis ground.
Who were your teachers?
I know you know him. I know you know him. The tallest Dick. Yeah.
Dick Hawk.
Dick Hawk. Yeah. Right. Dick Hawk was the man, the tennis man.
He was a good player.
Yeah, well, he was quite old already.
He was old.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
but he taught you.
Yeah, he taught me, and it was such a joyful, because he used to joke a lot, I remember. And he had a very strong American accent.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So it was nice fun to be with him. And so either we had that in the early morning, this is the preschool time, So school started at 7:45, but before the school started, either we had Sanskrit class or tennis class. Can you imagine? Or sometimes if we had the gymnastic seasons, we used to practice gymnastics at from 6 to 6:30, half an hour. And another preschool activity was cleaning our school. We ourselves used to clean our school. So from 5:45 till 6:30, we used to clean our whole school. So that was quite a... Today I feel proud that I cleaned my own school. So it was called the nettoyage. So that is cleaning in French. So that was also fun. So all these were the preschool activities in the morning. Then go for breakfast, and another thing I wanted to talk to you about was the few other people that I met. Apart from Pujalalji, who was a close friend of my grandfather, Dr. Bhatt, but also another lesser known person called Tarokda. He was Tarok. He started the nature cure clinic. In Ashram, we had different kind of cures. So we had the homeopathic, which was run by Debu, Pranab's brother.
Oh, yes.
Debu.
I knew him well.
Yeah, you knew him well.
What about the Ayurvedic? I know that.
Also the Ayurvedic, Dr. Kesari.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was also a good family friend. And then we had homeopathy. So we had homeopathy, natural medicine under Tarokda. I don't remember his surname, Tarok Bose, I think. So, and he was also a very close friend of my grandfather. So he started the nature cure dispensary and in the ashram. But as he passed away, nobody took it up, so it's no more there. I think so, I don't know. But so we had different kinds of um,
Allopathic as well
allopathic,
as
of course.
Ayurvedic and homeopathic.
Homeopathic. There were many doctors. There was a very unknown person called Dr. Bhumananji. Bhumananji. These are such amazing giants, total giants. And he was a homeopath doctor staying in the Canteen Street. So Dr. Bhumananji, his room was 2 times that sofa, or 3 times that sofa. And he used to always be in that loin, and the whole bed was full of books, and such a simple person, totally engrossed in his world of cure and medicine. And
can you elaborate on the nature cure? Like, what did Tarokta do?
well, I didn't really know what kind of treatment he used to, but his nature cure was more popular outside Pondicherry, outside the ashram, than in the ashram. A lot of people from the Westerners, a lot of Westerners followed and came to him. He had a lot of success outside. Here, everybody used to take homeopathy, mainly homeopathy, and then normal dispensary, chemical medicine, or the Ayurvedic stuff.
You had mentioned once, I think he took you to the beach for sun salutation.
Exactly. So every morning he used to take me, not every morning, sorry. He used to take me once a week for sun salutation. And we used to cycle all the way to almost to the first river. And for me, that was such a long ride. But none of my friends of my age I could not even mention it to but somehow thank God I remember it, and I feel a lot of gratitude to him that he took me there, and he spoke very little, and it's such a strange activity that you cycle down all the way there, you hardly speak, and it was quite so we used to just see the sunrise, meditate, and
Our time is a bit limited.
yeah, you're right.
Please tell us a bit about your work in Italy and the different types of music you are doing. And one last question, anything on the new music?
Well, in the West, there's not much of new music. In my field of organizing festivals, the festivals, they follow a kind of a trend, of a musical trend. So either you follow like world music, it's quite trendy now, so everybody does world music. But apart from the experimentation that took place here in the ashram, like Sunilda, or even that French guy, I forget his name, he used to be in Auroville, who used to really explore in the field of music. Of course, there were guys like Bhatt, Americans, Bhatt, or the two brothers, I forget, they did minimal music. Yeah. So, Steve Reich.
Yes.
Yeah, Steve Reich. These are the experimental, they do a lot of exploration, but that's a very professional field. But there is nobody who really does an artistic exploration of new kind of music.
What about in Eastern music, Indian music?
In Indian music, yeah, they also follow trend, because it's all a question of what the market wants or what you offer to the market. So it's all a question of, okay, if I propose to this festival, I have been doing lately a lot of exploration in forms of music, electronics, and yeah. So in electronics, there are few musicians who like to combine ancient traditions, so roots, with avant-garde electronics. So like a desert musician from Morocco doing centuries-old music, or a sitar player or a sarangi player from the deserts of Rajasthan with avant-garde electronics. So that kind of experimentation does, I don't know if we can call that new music, but the experimentation is happening a lot. But the kind of music that you are talking about, new music, which is like, let's say, like the soul's music, there are a few musicians who are in contact with yoga. They do with Tibetan bowls, and they do.
And you meet many of the great present artists in different instruments.
I do meet as a art director of festivals. I organize festivals, so I invite them. But as for performance, I don't perform that much because my time is, I rarely practice. So for me, it has remained like a passion, a tiny toy that I took along with me when I went to Italy, the tablas. And of course, I play also African drums, Arab drums. But my main work is art directing festivals of international music. So I don't have a lot of time, but I like to experiment a lot, and I like to listen to also this minimal music, which is very helpful for concentration.
What do you see for yourself in the next 10 years?
Well, everything has been so totally taken aback and blown away, the whole system in the whole world, by the COVID thing. So there's so much of uncertainty in the world all over. So no long-term plans are taking place right now. So
Any interest in Oroville?
personally, yeah, definitely. I'm very much connected to Oroville, and I follow it. I've recently become a member of Oroville International. So Oroville, Italia. So I'm slowly, inch by inch, approaching it, let's say, as far as bureaucracy is concerned. I don't know how to become a part, but at least I'm now part of Oroville, Italy. And so...
What was your experience with Agony's ashram?
Okay, I was invited to give a small talk in Agony's ashram, which is a beautiful ashram, very beautiful ashram. And the people there are so one-pointed, dedicated to creating this ashram. They work a lot. Everybody works a lot there. Very impressed by their ashram. So they invited me, because I used to go, when I had just reached Italy many years ago, I used to go there, bring Indian musicians to their ashram and make performances there. But then we sort of lost contact, and so we, after so many years, they called me to talk about my grandfather's experience with Sri Aurobindo, the 12 years, and so I gave a nice little talk, and they were very happy. So they have lots of new projects. They have lots of new projects in the field of integral education coming up. So you should plan your visit there.
They have invited me.
Yeah, they have invited you. So
Are there any other Sri Aurobindo centers in Italy?
No.
Oh.
No. That's the only one, and it's the oldest oldest. I mean, it's the only one, but it's quite old. Yeah, so it is definitely a beautiful center. It has a very strong presence of the mother. It's all through the day, they are everything connect. All their work activities is connected with Mother and Sri Aurobindo.
That is a beautiful way to end our visit. Mentioning Sri Aurobindo and Mother.
Sure, remembering them. Yeah. So true. And I want to also finish our encounter with, I remember when we were in the school, we could physically feel the presence of the mother, and we knew that somewhere up in the sky, above the service tree, she's there. At 9:30, sometimes if we go to the Samadhi, we could hear her speaking. So that sort of remained in my mind. Even the years after she passed away, I would always feel the physical presence of the mother, and even today. So, and now I have completely sort of made a direct connection instead of via ashram. I have made a direct connection with them directly, with Mother and Sri Aurobindo. So, because we are all fallible, we are all so it's best to keep a direct connection. So anything that happens in and around the ashram doesn't affect my relationship with Mother and Sri Aurobindo. That's the most important thing, I think, in our life. No? So that keeps me very unperturbed, whatever happens. But even if they happen, it's normal it happens, because we are all human beings. So we can all make mistakes. But what's important is that we all learn to keep our direct contact with them. No?
Thank you.
Thank you.
It has been an honor.
It's a pleasure to me.